Shalom, and here's a thought for the week. This coming Monday, we celebrate a Hasidic holiday. In 1927, Rabbi Yosef Isaac Schneerson, Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, was imprisoned by the communists, put in jail. There he was sentenced to death. They commuted the sentence to 10 years in prison. And then they commuted that sentence to go to exile to a city called Kostroma. Ultimately, he was let out less than a month later, and we celebrate the day, the 12th day of Tammuz, when he was told he'd be let out. And the office was closed in Russia, so the next day he got his paperwork. We celebrate these 2 days as a special day. What does these days represent? The previous Rebbe, one person with its underground network of rabbis, ritual slaughterers, moils, circumcisions, running Jewish day schools and cheters underground in Russia, stood up to the communists, the world power regime of the communists, and said, regardless of what you say, I'm going to stick to what I'm doing. At one point, he was arrested, as we said, put in jail. They came, they said, and they had asked him to stand up. He refused to stand up for them, and they beat him several times. But regardless of all of that, he stuck to it. And over 80 years later, you look at Judaism and Chabad around the world, and you look at communism fell in Russia, and you have Judaism flourishing. The message to all of us is very simple. Today we live in comfort. We can't compare the challenges that we have today compared to those challenges. As long as we're dedicated and recognize that we have the power to continue doing God's will, observing God's commandments, men putting tefillin, women lighting Shabbat candles, kosher, charity, giving 10% to charity, couples using a mikvah, and observing God's commandments of love your fellow as yourself. Every obstacle that stands in a way, if we're dedicated and we make that strong commitment, nothing can stop us, even a world power regime, we will be victorious. And ultimately, our Rebbe promised us that doing one more mitzvah, like Maimonides says, it's like a scale of good and bad, and you'll weigh the scale down. We'll weigh that scale down, our next mitzvah, and bring world peace, Mashiach now. Amen. Have a wonderful Shabbos.